Look, the time to fight is now. The time to fight is now. You cannot collaborate with people who want to dominate. So I don't know who might need to hear this right now, who's feeling a little sleepy, but consider this the wake-up call. And the call is coming from inside the house. We got enemies foreign and domestic. So for my people who see what Trump is doing and recognize it for what it is, okay, who see the dozens of executive orders in just the first 2 weeks, who see the freeze on all federal funding, who see the illegal firing of independent government watchdogs, the intimidation of civil servants, the illegal firing of people on the National Labor Relations Board, which further weakens unions, who see Elon Musk dipping into the treasury without security clearance and doing who knows what. They're pretending like they have a mandate to do this when they don't. My next video is going to break down exactly why this is very anti-democratic. But for now, for those of us who recognize it when we see it, yes, this is really happening. No, you're not going crazy. And yes, the time to fight is right the heck now. If you care about not having this entire country controlled by Elon Musk and Trump's other oligarchs, you know, the ones that were in the front row of his inauguration, then the time to fight is now. We can either have a corporately controlled country or a people-controlled country. And for the last 50 years, under leadership of both parties, we have been sliding, thanks to neoliberal policies, to the corporate-controlled side. If we as a people want the country to serve us, rather than us having to serve corporate rulers, then we need to take our country back. And when I say take it back, I mean taking it back from the corporate interests that are controlling our politics, controlling our entire economy, that have corrupted the values of our society, and that have decimated many of our communities. And I'm not saying to take it back from diversity or inclusion. On the contrary, we need solidarity, which means we're going to need to include a wide range of people with diverse backgrounds in order to present a united front. That's the only way we make things happen. That's the only way that our fight can be effective. Corporate interests have so much more power than us economically and politically that the only way we win this is if we have the power in numbers. That means we need to stick together. They can't throw all of us in jail. The jails aren't big enough. The detention centers aren't big enough. They can't fire everyone if the whole town is in solidarity. They can't shoot down all the protesters if everyone's out protesting. You know why? Because then they'd have no one to stock their warehouses. They'd have no one to do their paperwork. They'd have no one to use their power over. They'd have no one to oppress. They've always preferred slavery to slaughter. They're hoping that we just bow down and comply, that we don't challenge their authority, that we just accept it, that we get overwhelmed, that we get intimidated, that we think they're all powerful, that we think their success is inevitable, that we mistakenly think that, well, this is the will of the people, so who are we to stop it? That they have a mandate to do this when they don't. We cannot bow to them, and we can't wait 2 years for the midterms. Hitler dismantled German democracy in less than 2 months. Article about how he did that linked in the description. Now, I'm not saying that Trump is Hitler. Again, slavery is different than slaughter, but empire is empire. Dictators are dictators. And it wasn't just on day one either, was it? Trump and Elon Musk are clearly trying to have complete control over the federal government. No checks, no balances. Founders who? I don't know them. Constitution? Where? It's no longer on the White House's website. And there's no one to hold them accountable if and when they literally drain the treasury of this country. A lot of Republicans don't even like how much Elon Musk is cashing out. Like, Steve Bannon is pissed right now. But they cannot do this unless we cooperate with them. They can't legally fire hundreds of federal workers without cause and without notice, which is why they are asking people to resign. Musk wouldn't have been able to get into this country's financial systems if someone hadn't let him in. They're trying to intimidate us, but we cannot allow ourselves to be scared into submission. The time for cooperation is gone. Now is the time for courage. Now is the time to refuse to comply. Now is the time to fight. And we, the people, need to have courage because our leaders have had no courage, no spine, no integrity. We are in this position largely because Republicans refuse to keep the seditious criminal tyrant out of their party. We're here because Mitch McConnell refused to do his job and move the Senate to convict the person who had been twice impeached. That's the process that the founders put in place to prevent a seditious traitor from resuming office, and he knew it. Republican leaders have proven themselves to be spineless cowards who are more loyal to their party than to their country. And although some Democratic leaders are speaking up, Most of them seem to have lost their spine also. Where is Kamala Harris? Where did she go? I thought the fight was continuing. I thought you were always fighting for the people. Where's Miss Harris? I don't. Oh, she's at a concert. Great. I mean, it is a benefit concert to support recovery from the LA wildfires, so it's a good cause, but, going to a concert is something I could do. Is there anything else you want to say about what's going on nationally? No? Happy Black History Month? Okay, great. Despite the democracy is on the line rhetoric of the campaign season, Democrats are not fighting this. They're rolling over and taking it. They're still playing the game of let's cooperate. It would be one thing if Trump's behavior was actually surprising at this point. Like, it'd be one thing if it were like, whoa, where did all these executive orders come from? It came from Project 2025. You campaigned on it. Whoa, he's doing things that are illegal. He's a criminal. We know who this man is. Come on now. We weren't ready for this? We know he's just out for himself. He almost got shot dead twice and he didn't change. He could have had his come to Jesus moment. Instead, he insists Jesus came to him. How dare you speak of mercy? Republican officials don't do mercy. Thou blasphemeth. I am the chosen one. Oh, man. We know Republicans don't do compromise. Obstruct, delay, deny. That's their playbook. You cannot cooperate with someone who's trying to dominate. Cooperation requires both parties coming to the table in good faith. That's why you fight a war until both sides agree to stop fighting. Peace requires a mutual agreement. Both sides need to agree to working cooperatively, not just one side. And both sides need to keep their word. Doesn't work so well when you're dealing with a con artist. Your tactics have to match the situation you're in. If someone is actively trying to attack, oppress, and dominate you, then you can either fight back or suffer in chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Bullies prey on weakness. There comes a time to defend yourself. The best way to get a bully to back down is to demonstrate that you are not to be messed with. In fact, the White House did have to back down off of the initial funding freeze after widespread public outcry and a slew of lawsuits. But now they're going directly to the Treasury to illegally mess with our bank accounts. Again, their governing in this way is them trying to control us. We need to organize our power in numbers and demonstrate that we are not to be controlled. Some ideas for organizations you could think about joining are linked in the description. That's how you handle someone trying to bulldoze you. That's how you handle a tyrant. You don't ignore them or keep quiet and let them continue, because at this point, cooperation is capitulation. And we don't have to lift a single weapon. And we shouldn't, not only because of morality, but also because we're outgunned. Just a bad strategy at this point. Just like during the Civil Rights Movement, we refuse to cooperate. We organize and form coalitions, we make specific demands, and we do not cooperate until those demands are met. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, defending your rights means there will be tension and confrontation. Your freedom doesn't come for free. People died during the Civil Rights Movement. Dr. King was assassinated. We were not all kumbayaing. That's not how this works. People died during the labor rights movement. People died for your union negotiations and your minimum wage and your weekend, and we stopped fighting and it's slipping away. Your freedom doesn't come for free. We have to fight for it and defend it or we lose it. Freedom requires vigilance, and we've taken our eyes off the ball. We've become distracted by screens and spectacles, and now our freedom requires a fight. So yeah, it might be painful. It might be scary. How bad do you want it? That's the test right now. How bad do you want your freedom? Do you want it badly enough to do the uncomfortable work of talking to people who voted the other way and building coalitions with folks who you don't 100% agree with? Or would you rather stay in your little bubble and pretend like that bubble can do battle with empire? Do you want it badly enough to actually change the status quo by learning what specifically needs changing and then taking action? Or would you rather elect someone else and hope that they have all the right answers? Are you willing to give up your country to billionaires as long as they keep telling you stories that make you feel good? Are you willing to see your country destroyed as long as some people get hurt worse than you do? Or do you want your freedom? And if you do, how bad do you want it? We have to make that decision, and it's something we'll have to do together, not alone. The choice is up to us. Think about it. If you're new here, hey, I'm Ahsante. This is what I've been thinking, and on this channel, we're imagining a better political future by looking at how democracy really works and what we the people need for society to thrive. Now, I can make these bold statements largely because I'm independent. I can't get fired because I have no employer. That's great for my own sense of intellectual freedom. The downside of that is that I have very little money to keep this going, especially because I just launched this channel recently. But I would like to be hired by you, the people. I'm trying to make this thing viewer supported. People power is the best power, and building an independent media ecosystem is part of how we get our people power back. So if you feel so inclined to support me on Patreon or to buy me a coffee as a one-time contribution, links to those things will be in the description. Greatly appreciated, and thank you to the brilliant beings over on Patreon who support my work. And if you want to learn more about what the actual problems in our society are, beyond blaming things vaguely on corporate elites or capitalism or government corruption, then you might enjoy the reading list that I put together. It covers books that are both aspirational about what kind of democratic future we could have, as well as books that go into the roots of our social problems and talk about strategies for social change that we could use for getting through them. So if that sounds interesting to you, link is in the description. Again, links to organizations that you could think about joining are in the description. It seems to me like the Working Families Party, Move On, and Indivisible have the most momentum. They had a great meeting yesterday and they have some actions planned this week. So those will be the ones that I would look into first. As always, remember to think critically and creatively, and I will see you next time.